Maybe he'll join the what is it? Resistance Revolution.
Retribution.
How come they don't show up on any pay-per-views?
Yeah, I know. That's like where you think like they do the big things, like hack the crowd and turn the whole thing into an anonymous face giving a message or something. I don't know. It's stupid because I'm always anticipating it and waiting for it, and they never pull the trigger. And now I guess the revival is, or not the revival. That's dead. Retribution is now being just canned to Raw, so they're not cross-brand.
I read that was a possibility.
It's like, what kind of chaos are you going to cause if you're not causing chaos by being everywhere? I don't know.
I don't either. But I don't know. I gave this, especially as a first match, I can't even say that there was a match I would say was better on this card to be an opening match, but this one didn't work for me. I gave it a C+. And C is going to be a common theme in my gradings as this whole show goes.
So, yeah, you're doing this grading each match. I'm going to have to start doing this myself now going forward. Thanks.
I think it helps. Well, I mean, it helps me, you know what I mean, personally.
Well, I mean, yeah, but then I would have had to actually pay attention to this pay-per-view.
No, you don't. Just slap a letter down there.
Okay, D.
There you go. See? Just have Avon Parker start writing down letters. Tell him, A through F, start writing. Take them in order. First match, that's what it is. Gotcha.
Then we had what would kind of almost be my favorite match on the card, just because why? Whoa, what? Okay. Big E is having a singles push, I guess. And he defeated Sheamus. And Big E looked aggressive and strong, and Sheamus looked pale and white. And I don't know, they had a pretty good match together. I mean, it was basically New Day versus The Bar, half that.
1/3 of the New Day versus 1/2 of the Bar. So we got like, I don't know.
You got to do some Steiner math to figure that one out.
I know. It doesn't work. Yeah, this one, I mean, I still gave this one a C+, but that's literally my second highest grade on this card. So yeah, I would agree it's one of the better matches.
I just think it's kind of weird that you're gonna like push Big E as a solo guy without splitting up the New Day or without having Kofi, at his side. So it's like it's not a New Day thing. Right. Are they just gonna like hope we forget about New Day? Like, is that what's gonna happen?
I hope not. I wouldn't mind him getting a main event run.
Yeah, like Kofi did it, so why couldn't Big E do it? But they're just doing it so differently, and it's almost unceremonious.
Yeah, because to be fair, like you said, he looked pretty good. It was this was a typical big man heavy hitting match. We didn't really see anything new from either of the guys, but the excitement and the fire and the passion that he showed after the match. Yes. I even wrote down here, I said, this is what I want to see from him and the type of emotion that'll hopefully earn him a major title run. I mean, that's basically, I got more out of after the match than during the match.
Yeah, very much. The promo he cut afterwards, or what he was yelling at Corey Graves at ringside.
Yeah, there
was passion.
He made you think he wanted it.
Yeah. That was a spark for sure, and I'm sure Vince didn't even see it. We'll see. It was a good showcase though. Yeah. Yeah,
it was a kind of a surprise match. We didn't see it coming, but we had even said there wasn't enough matches on the card. We knew there was going to be we assumed they'd be adding a match.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the other week, I know I watched Raw or SmackDown, probably SmackDown. The Miz was cutting a promo on Big E talking about how could he have a singles push, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. It was a thing. But right. That's like all the story that's went into it as far as I know, which is, it's interesting. We'll see where it goes.
We shall see. And in fact, we were trying to see where Matt Riddle versus King Corbin went in a one-on-one, just regular match for nothing.
Why didn't this open the show?
Well, I don't know. Why would it? just to get it out of the way.
It was not fun.
It was not fun.
I'm pretty sure I was checked out the entire time.
It was basically another, like, big physical match, but ironically, I mean, these two guys, Corbin and Riddle, are smaller than E and Sheamus, but this match felt slower, honestly, at least to me. Maybe it's because I just went through one plotting, Rock'em Sock'em, and now we had a second plotting Rock'em Sock'em.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The definition of styles clash. Styles clash. Definition, because they just did not work well. Other than, I couldn't tell if Corbin was legitimately hurt in his ribs or whatever, or if he was really selling good. He might have actually been hurt, not like a serious injury, but he might have really been hurt. Otherwise, he sold those ribs pretty good, and I give him credit for that.
Yeah. No, I think the further time goes, the more I'm giving up on Corbin. I had high hopes for him in the beginning, and then they made
Glenn, you stuck with it for quite a while.
I did. Really... Even after he was King of the Ring, even through some of the Roman Reigns dog food storyline. And now we're going to get a drawn-out King Corbin, Matt Riddle storyline. And I care so little about Matt Riddle, there goes my care for anything King Corbin related.
It's just a big care black hole.
I don't see it coming back anytime soon. Unless they're trying to build him on the way of Triple H.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's got it in him to come up the way Hunter did. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I gave this one a C-.
Yeah, I'd be right about there with you. And then we had the Raw Tag Team Championships on the line, and Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax just smashed together women's tag team who work.
They do work. They're both, even though it was kind of neat going into this because both teams were bickering with each other. Like, It wasn't like, usually it's one team's bickering with each other and you're like, oh, they're probably not going to. But it's like both teams, Shayna and Baszler don't like each other, and Bayley and Sasha were whiny at each other,
Mm-hmm. And it just boils down to who wants it more. No, I feel like this match probably had the most reason and meaning, and it worked best for me.
Definitely had the most story going into it between all competitors.
Yeah, even though they were just tossed together and they announced themselves as contending for it in a promo. Like, I don't know. I like Baszler Jax. That's a really good combination. Like, one's dangerous on purpose. One's just dangerous.
I like that. That was good.
Yeah, they're the WWE women's equivalent of Omega and Paige. They're the reluctant champions,
right?
Who can pull it out. Yeah, I mean, this goes to further the Bayley Banks storyline. Probably, if I had to give it a rating on the spot, of B+-ish.
Oh wow!
Compared to the rest of the card.
Compared to the rest of the card, a fucking turd and a giant douche boxing it out would have been a fucking A-. I don't know. I thought it lacked structure. It was very disjointed more than once. I didn't think any of them really showed emotion other than Bayley and Sasha to each other. Wasn't particularly good, but I think it was really disappointing considering the quality of women's matches we got the previous weekend.
Yeah.
Like, even with it not being... NXT TakeOver was the worst TakeOver, and SummerSlam was better by comparison, but it was, for a big four, it was meh. But all three women's matches I thought were solid, with the one being awesome, the Sasha Banks Asuka, was just awesome. So after we had three really solid women's matches last week, I hoped that this would do better. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
It just goes to fit the theme of the pay-per-view is all of this could have been done on Raw or SmackDown.
100%. The only thing positive I have to say, with Bayley tapping, that actually cost Banks now her other title. So now according to Banks, Bayley's made her lose both titles now. So hopefully this is what kind of propels this feud that we've been waiting for decades for,
Yep.
Which hopefully that's a shining bright light in the women's division. These two women have such good chemistry and are both such amazing talents that should go well, hopefully.
Now the question going forward is, will Baszler and Jax be the last women's tag team champions? And I think so. I think they can't get along. They split up, and who knows? It's WWE. Maybe they get a women's United States and women's Intercontinental Championship.
Right. I will say that they booked Baszler to look dominant. She looked like a badass, the way she should have been this whole time. My only thing, and it's not a knock on this match, but I almost think it may be too little too late. I don't know.
It's weird. I look forward to if this is a lasting tag team and they can work things out. Like the entrances, seeing Shayna come out riding on Nia Jax's shoulder like some kind of a beast master. You know what I mean? Like you could make this tag team work and work better than any women's tag team in WWE ever, I think. I think it would be really easy to do. But there's no division now, so I don't know.
Yeah, I gave it a C. I mean, that's I honestly don't think it was as good as the first two, but better than the last one. I don't know. It could maybe be a C+, but I give it a C.
You got to understand, too, I'm just shooting in the dark with my...
Oh, yeah. No,
I said, I didn't even halfway watch this fucking thing.
I definitely expected more from these four competitors. Well, from three of these four competitors, I expected more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting much from Sasha.
Well, we expected a lot.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. We expected a lot out of the next match. But it didn't quite deliver. Even though we got the result everybody was hoping for, Keith Lee defeated Randy Orton in round about 6 minutes and 40 seconds. And I think we got what you predicted last week, and that's Complacent Randy.
Yeah.
Randall Complacent Orton. That's what the K stands for.
Exactly. I was hoping it wouldn't be, but man, it was. This was... On the plus side, creative. Well, okay. Obviously, I wrote my notes Sunday, and I didn't watch this week's Raw or SmackDown. So take that into consideration when I say this. Just consider just the pay-per-view. It seemed that creative had been very invested in putting Lee over strong. He had a really awesome performance at Survivor Series, and he was the last guy to get eliminated for his team. He got a clean victory over Randy Orton, I'm pretty sure is probably getting a championship win sooner than later, at least one more. But yeah, I even put on here, lacked intensity, and Orton was on autopilot. Because he was.
Yeah.
But Keith Lee won in convincing fashion. It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't an accident. He beat him right in the middle of the ring. But apparently, and Pasty, you can say this a little better, maybe after the pay-per-view they didn't seem as gung-ho on Keith as I thought they were going.
Yeah, because the following night on Raw, Randy Orton won a triple threat involving Keith Lee to challenge for, the WWE Championship. So Randy Orton's going on to face Drew McIntyre again. Right? This is again. Randy just fought Drew McIntyre not very long ago.
Correct. And this is where he's probably going to beat him.
Unless there's is there a Swerve storyline here?
Swerve, bro.
I don't know. I guess. If
Randy
does beat him now and then it goes to Mania where Drew can take it back, that works. That's your 3 matches. I hate that wrestling has to be based on 3 matches.
Yeah.
It makes things too predictable.
Comedy works in the rules of... Actually, I have that coming up here anyways, but it's actually, I think, in 2 other ones, maybe. I don't know. But, yeah. Comedy works in 3, and with wrestling always having to be 3, it just makes it a joke. How's that?
Yeah, I
just came up with that. I like it.
Yeah. Biggest joke wrestling ever told.
Yeah. No, I gave this a C-. It could almost... I debated whether to give it a D+ or a C-. but there was definitely a D+ match, and I thought it was worse than this one.
I even went back